Deepfake scammers stage bogus conference video call and steal $25 million from multinational company in Hong Kong. Sounds like an interesting story. So, deepfakes are developing to be a real security hazard for individuals and companies, as we've come to the point when people can hardly believe in their eyes and ears anymore. Swindlers are making the most of the new technology to deceive their marks into falling for their confidence tricks. Deepfake is a portmanteau word that mixes deep learning and fake. It's artificial intelligence used to create convincing images, audio, and video that are false and can be used for many applications, including hoaxes. Deepfakes in general are not illegal as long as you are explicitly depicting them as such and not using them for disingenuously misleading people. But that's exactly what criminals are using it for. Its algorithms can generate lifelike people and animals, imitate their likeness of an individual, or manipulate images of real people into doing or saying things they haven't in reality. The opportunity for criminal deceit is ample, as a worker in a company in Hong Kong found out recently. The Hong Kong branch of a multinational company has lost $25.6 million after scammers used deepfake technology posed as the firm's chief financial officer in a video conference call and ordered money transfers, according to the police, in what is being highlighted as the first of its kind cases in the city. The money transaction was ordered during a meeting where it was found that everyone present on the video call except the victim were deepfakes of real people, said the Hong Kong police on Friday, February 2nd. That's pretty funny, actually. I mean, evil, but pretty funny. This is the first case of its kind in Hong Kong which involved a large amount of money. I'm sure that there's been other cases. Chat, press 1 if you've encountered some sort of deepfake in real life that maybe was not you being used for a scam, but was not advertised as a deepfake. Maybe you found out later. Yeah, we're not sure, but like a lot of things are speculated to be deepfakes, but we don't know. This time in a multi-person video conference, it turns out that everyone you see is fake, said the Hong Kong police official. Yeah, the scam victims were occasionally tricked by one-on-one calls, but this time everyone else was fake. In this case, criminals used deepfake technology to turn publicly available video and pictures of the company executives into convincing meeting participants. According to Chan, the worker involved had been suspicious since he received the message purportedly from the company's United Kingdom-based CFO and first dismissed it as a phishing email back in January. Well, there you go. He's smarter than a lot of people are. However, the talks of the need for a secret transaction continued. The worker, according to Chan, dismissed the doubts after the video call because other people in attendance had looked and sounded just like colleagues and some others he recognized. Now, having like digital communication to talk to people, right now, we're right on the edge of it being still, and maybe we're not anymore, but recently we were, in the point where it's hard enough to fake that people aren't going to fake it. Now, I think right now we may have crossed that boundary, but that was always going to be a small window in time. The window from the point at which you get the technology to depict things digitally to the point at which it's possible to fake real human interactions. That was always going to be a tiny, tiny, tiny window in time across the entire scope of human history. Tiny window. And we are just now getting to the end of it, I think, unfortunately. So what will happen now, to some extent, is that for a long time, the idea of like video recording something has been synonymous with evidence, synonymous with verification, but it won't be anymore. Now, all digital technology will be synonymous with it can just do whatever it wants. It's not verifiable, it's not evidence, it's fake, which is not good. You may have to have some kind of like signature verification on videos that can ensure that it can't be fake. You'll have to have AI processes everywhere to make sure that any given video is not deepfaked, but even they could be tricked at some point, and it'll be a cat and mouse game between AI and AI to determine whether it is or isn't, and honestly, I think the generative may win out over the analytical in those cases, at least for a time. So it's some worrying time, but it does imply something which I think is overall good, but has its downsides. People will be interacting in person probably more often. At least a little bit more often. Perhaps not. Perhaps they'll just find a way to deal with the deepfakes. The swindlers must have studied the target meticulously for this to have worked. Possibly, but maybe the worker at the site hadn't, and so it didn't really matter. Maybe they just used a generic model for movement rather than a specific one for that individual. But maybe they did. It could be done. For 25 million, I think that's a lot of work that they'd be willing to put in. In this case, criminals use deepfake technology to turn publicly available video and pictures of company executives into convincing meeting participants. With enough computing power, you could get a bunch of videos and compile them into a version of someone who is the result of analysis of those videos. And they could move roughly like they would in real life. The deepfake con men did ask the victim to introduce himself. They did not actually interact with during the meeting. So the meeting was all an initially videotaped, recorded thing. It wasn't reactive. That's interesting. That's a good way to think. Whenever you get a bot call, say something ridiculous straight away. And if they go, "What?" you can say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you were a bot." But if they say, "Oh, that's great. We'd like to introduce you to," then it's a bot and you can hang up immediately. Just say something a little odd. Say something that a human would react to. Because those recorded messages are they're dumb, but they will work on people because they use timings that would make sense for a conversation. It sounds like that's what they did here, which is ridiculous. Just shout operator. Sure, why not? Sure. Anything like that would be fine. What you could do is just interrupt them. Just constantly interrupt. Like when they're talking, talk over them. And if they stop talking in the middle of a sentence, then you know it's not recorded and you can stop doing it. But if they just keep talking and ignore you talking over them, then it's probably recording. "Why have you stolen my cat?" Something like that could work, yeah. Why not? Or you could just say, "Hello, what's your name?" And then they won't reply if it's recorded. Or they probably will if it's a genuine person. Often they give the name. But hey, ask anyway, ask again anyway. And just see if they'll then repeat it. Yeah, that's a good point, Mark Knife. They put in lots of people into the call to prevent the victim from processing the information. And people that they're supposed to be beholden to as well. So if they hang up or if they say, "Are you guys fake?" they could be fired, especially in China. Yeah, how would you feel if you didn't eat breakfast yesterday? Exactly. Ask them to do a paper on a subject. I don't know. Anyway, continuing. The fake characters on the screen only gave the victim orders before the call ended abruptly. The employee proceeded to follow the instructions and made 15 transfers totaling 25.6 million to 5 Hong Kong bank accounts. The entire episode went on for a week before the worker involved made an inquiry with the company's headquarters. Probably should have done that straight away. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Oh yeah, we saw that. That's the end of the story. So yeah, that happened. We can expect that to probably continue happening. But despite what I said earlier about the potential for very convincing fakes, which is true, this example doesn't seem like it was particularly bulletproof. Interact. Make the AI work for it. And often it won't. I think these guys were chances and they got very lucky. But considering that they were chances, they were really going for it with this one institution, this one building, this one organization, because they had all the members. So yeah, I don't know. On the one hand, very sophisticated. On the other hand, very simplistic. In some ways one, in some ways the other. Perhaps not too difficult to have seen through it, to be honest.